All right, welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going headfirst into Kali Linux.
Ooh, Kali.
Yeah, specifically all those like core skills you need when you're, starting out in this operating system, right?
Right.
Which like everyone knows is the go-to for pen testing. And we've got some like intro stuff, key terms.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at the Kali desktop
Okay.
and even run through like some basic Linux commands just to get us going.
Sounds good.
So like our real mission here is to make sure that you like really fundamentally understand how to actually interact with a Linux environment, right? And specifically, obviously, Kali Linux.
Yeah. I mean, looking at this material, it seems really practical,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of what you want, especially in the security field. It's very much about, doing stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Like hackers are doers, right?
Exactly.
So let's get down like some of the basic language here. So binaries, right? Those are the executable files in Linux, like, the equivalent of like a .exe file in Windows.
Gotcha.
So think of commands like ps, cat, ls, cd.
Okay.
Even tools like air cracking or snort.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll often find these like in directories like uservn.
Okay.
Now, huge like warning for Windows users.
Oh, yeah.
Linux is case sensitive.
Oh, it's
So
safe.
file, and filey are all completely different things. So
Yeah.
that precision is really, really important.
Makes sense.
A directory is basically just a folder, right, for organizing all your stuff. And your personal storage space is your home directory.
Right.
And that's usually like home your username.
Okay.
Now, Kali itself, this is a Linux distribution,
Yeah.
but it's built specifically for security testing. It comes with a ton of tools pre-installed.
Oh, wow.
And then we have root. This is like the admin account. The super user with pretty much unlimited power.
Right.
And a lot of security tools actually need this root access to work properly.
Oh.
A script, this is basically just a series of commands, right, that are run by an interpreter.
Okay.
And you can write these in lots of different languages, like, Python is really popular in the security world.
Yeah.
The shell is basically your command line interpreter. And the most common one, and the default in Kali is bash.
Okay.
And the terminal is that window, right, where you actually type in these commands.
Gotcha.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear right away that this material really focuses on being precise, with the commands.
Yeah.
And that just kind of like speaks to this core idea in security that attention to detail, it really can make all the difference.
It really can. I mean, yeah, even just, something as simple as like, are you capitalizing a letter or not?
Oh yeah.
Can have huge consequences.
Absolutely.
So you gotta be careful.
Absolutely. So when you first log into Kali, the default username is root and the password is tour.
Okay.
Now once you're in, you'll see the desktop. And what you want to do is find that terminal icon. It's usually at the bottom.
Okay.
And you can double click it, or you can press CTRL-ALLT, and that'll get you right into that bash shell.
Okay.
And actually, the very first thing that this material recommends is change that default password.
Right.
Using the password command.
Okay.
Get that good security hygiene going right from the get-go.
Right off the bat, yeah. It's interesting, you're starting off as root, so you have access to, essentially everything.
Yeah.
But you also, you have to use that power wisely. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like having a master key.
Oh, totally.
It's powerful, but
Yeah.
it comes with, a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about the Linux file system a little bit. So instead of drive letters like you'd have in Windows, C drive, D drive, all that.
Right.
It's actually a single tree structure.
I see.
And at the very top of this tree is the root directory.
Okay.
And that's represented by a single /ret.
Gotcha.
Now, underneath that, you've got, a bunch of key directories like root. And that's actually the home directory for the root user.
I see.
Right. It's different from the root, which is the very top of the system.
So that's a little confusing.
Yeah, it can be a little confusing at first.
It can.
You've also got like etc., which is where the system settings are stored.
Okay.
Is where regular users' home directories are. MNT and media are for connecting external drives.
Uh-huh.
Bin and spin and contain, like all those essential programs, right?
Right.
And lib holds shared program files. But But the thing that this material really stresses is you don't want to be doing your everyday work as root, right?
Right.
For security reasons.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense. You don't want to be, just clicking around as the most powerful user on the system all the time.
No, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to be a little more careful.
Yeah, exactly. So this unified structure, this tree, it's fundamental to how Linux manages everything, you know?
Right.
And understanding this hierarchy, it really is your first step in actually navigating the system
Mm,
and knowing where, different files and things live.
absolutely. Like if you don't understand like how the files are organized,
Yeah.
you're going to have a tough time getting around.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so now let's get into like some actual commands.
All right, let's do it.
So PIEB shows you your current location.
Okay.
It stands for present working directory.
I see.
So if you've just logged in as root, it'll probably say root.
Right.
WAMI will tell you who you're logged in as.
Okay.
So again, probably root at this point. CD, short for change directory. This lets you move around, right?
Okay.
So if you type CD, etc., that takes you to the etc. directory.
Gotcha.
CD moves you up one level,
Okay.
CD up 2 levels,
Uh-huh.
and CD takes you right back up to the top.
Okay.
Then we've got LS, short for list.
Okay.
This one shows you the contents of a directory.
Really
So
fun.
just typing LS will show you what's in your current directory.
Right.
LS, etc. will list everything in the etc. directory.
Uh-huh.
You can add LL to get a more detailed listing
Okay.
with permissions, owner, size, all that.
Right.
And LA will show you hidden files too.
Oh, interesting.
Those are the ones that start with a dot.
Okay.
So I mean, these are really your basic tools for exploration.
Yeah.
You know, like they're your hands and eyes in this command line environment.
Right.
Like if you were exploring a physical space, you need to be able to see what's around you. You need to be able to move around.
Exactly.
These are your basic commands to do that.
Okay.
Now, if you're ever unsure about a command, most of them have built-in help.
Oh, okay.
So you can try adding help to the end of a command.
Like how?
So like air cracking help.
Okay.
Or nmap h.
Okay.
And that'll give you a quick guide to how to use it.
Okay.
Sometimes hrogip will also work.
Uh-huh.
But if you want like the really detailed information,
Okay,
you can use the man command. Yeah, so like man air cracking.
Okay.
And that'll bring up the manual page for that command.
Gotcha.
And you can use enter to scroll through it, PGUP and PGDN to navigate pages, and then Q to quit when you're done.
Gotcha.
Now finding files, this is important, right? So locate keyword will do a quick search.
Okay.
But it searches a database, so if you just created a file, it might not show up.
I see.
So like locate air cracking will look for that keyword.
Gotcha.
Whereas binary is a little more specific.
Okay.
It'll show you the binary itself, the source code, and the manual page if it's available.
Okay.
Which binary will show you where the executable is actually located in your system's path.
Uh-huh.
And the really powerful one is find.
Okay.
So this is find directory options expression.
Oh, wow.
So for example, you could do find type fname Apache 2.
Okay.
And that would find all files named Apache 2 starting from the root directory.
I see.
And you can use wildcards to make your searches more flexible.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
So like an asterisk can represent any number of characters.
Okay.
A question mark represents a single character.
Uh-huh.
And square brackets let you match any character inside the brackets.
Gotcha.
So I mean, having a whole range of search tools is really important.
Yeah.
Some are fast, some are more precise, and knowing when to use which one is a valuable skill.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like having different tools in a toolbox, right?
Yeah.
You don't use a hammer for every job.
Exactly. Now once you have the output from a command,
Right.
you can actually filter it down even more using grep.
Okay.
And this is where the pipe symbol comes in.
Okay.
That's the vertical bar.
Right.
And that lets you send the output of one command to another command.
Okay.
So like you could do a PO, which lists all the running processes,
Uh-huh.
and then pipe that to grep Apache 2.
Okay.
And that would show you only the processes that have Apache 2 in their name.
I see.
So it's super useful for finding specific information.
Yeah, that's really powerful when you have like, pages and pages of output.
Yeah.
To be able to just get down to the stuff you care about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so finally, let's look at some basic file management stuff. So cat file name will create a small file, and then it'll let you type in content
Okay.
until you press CTRL-D.
Uh-huh.
Cat file name will display the file's content,
Okay.
and cat file name will add content to the end of a file.
Okay.
But if you just use a single or, that'll overwrite the file.
Right.
So be careful with that.
Be careful.
Touch file name will create an empty file, or it'll update the timestamp if the file already exists.
Okay.
Mkdir directory name makes a new directory.
Gotcha.
SIP source destination copies a file,
Yeah.
and you can actually rename the file while you're copying it too.
Oh, okay.
MV, old name, new name, that renames or moves files and directories.
Okay.
ARM file name deletes a file.
All right.
ARM dir directory name removes an empty directory. And be extremely careful with rmsh directory name,
Right.
because that will delete a directory and everything inside it recursively.
Oh, wow.
So no going back from that one.
Yeah, that sounds pretty dangerous.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful with that one. So these are like the essential actions
Yeah.
you're going to perform in the Linux environment.
Right.
Creating files, moving them, managing them, creating directories.
Yeah, the basics.
Yeah, the absolute basics. All right, so to kind of sum up,
Yes.
we've gone over some basic Linux terminology, what all the different words mean.
Right.
We've looked at navigating the file system using, pwd, cd, and ls.
No.
Finding files with locate, where is which, and find.
Right.
Filtering output with grep.
Okay.
And then all those basic file and directory operations.
Right.
Cat, touch, mkdir, cp, mv, rm, rmdir, all that good stuff.
All the good stuff, yeah.
But the really, really crucial next step is for you to actually get your hands on a Kali Linux environment and practice these commands.
Yeah, you gotta get in there and do it.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you actually learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hands-on experience, it's the key to making this stuff stick.
Absolutely.
Now think about this for a second.
Okay.
Linux is everywhere, right?
It is.
Like it's the foundation for so much of the technology that powers our world.
Pretty much.
And mastering these fundamental commands, it's not just, some technical skill.
Right.
It's like a form of digital literacy.
Yeah.
It's empowerment.
I completely agree. And I think, it really opens up a whole world of possibilities.
Yeah.
For people who are willing to kind of learn this new language.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So I mean the question is what new possibilities might unlock for you
Yeah.
as you become more fluent in this environment.
It's a really powerful thing,
Yeah.
I think, to be able to, understand and interact with these systems.
Absolutely.